I'm going to go a little bit off topic, but I feel bad for them because they're not getting what they're supposed to get. And we have HR, and HR should be in charge of benefits. Why is that not being paid? That's ridiculous. I guess that's the reason why she didn't hire me, because I was supposed to be her.
There we go. I had you, didn't I? I fooled you.
I just spent over $100 this week because I have vitiligo, which I found out that I have after I finished my radiation treatment.
She just invented a whole new disease, y'all. She got vitiligo. We've got Vivian from July last year still out here fighting for everyone's right to lie like she does. Here we go again.
Oh, okay. I thought she started it. All right. So I'm be calm today. Just wanted to address.
You know, she always starts with that. I'm going to be calm today, which always turns out to be a fucking lie.
First, the trustees, and just thank you guys for the wonderful job you're doing. Mine is Stan and Andrew. Andrew, I don't even know why you're here. Stan, did you step down from the township yet? Because that's what you said you was going to do the last meeting.
I love how she just coughed directly into the mic like COVID never happened. She barely turned her head just a little pivotan, then swung right back around mid-cough like, oh, don't worry about it. Then she starts smearing the mic, like she's trying to make sure everyone gets a sample. And the wildest part? She holds the mic like that, then turns around and complains that someone turned it off. Girl, that's not a conspiracy, that's self-sabotage. Just look at this. Mess asterisk.
A corrupt mayor and somebody that's just so evil and that just don't care about the residents. All of us hardworking, educated.
This straight, she don't even work. She said she's on disability, right? But she still managed to drag herself up here to scold us. Us hardworking people. This isn't y'all, of course. It's not her. Not the one with the walker she mysteriously misplaced. Where my walker at? She says, like it wandered off by itself. This is what the residents of Dalton have to deal with, these community meetings turned therapy sessions for people who want attention, not accountability. And just like that, the fire department gets name dropped. What things are about to go off the rails when folks start invoking public safety out of nowhere. Now she's demanding answers about benefits. Do we even have a benefits specialist for the village of Dalton? Because apparently that's the person who should be answering all these deeply profound questions. Not HR, not the mayor, not the HR. People who actually work here and know what a spreadsheet looks like. No. It's got to be that elusive benefit specialist from Dalton, a mythical figure now elevated to folk hero status. Then comes the pivot. Well, here it comes. She's going off topic. Cue the violins. She says she feels bad for folks not getting what they're supposed to. Suddenly, this ain't about her. Oh no, it's about other people now. HR should be handling benefits. This is good, actually, she says. I'm proud of it. Yeah, because for a whole 30 seconds, she managed to fake a sense of community spirit. I mean, look at her. Talking about something that's not about herself? It almost felt genuine. Almost. But just when you think maybe, just maybe, she's had a breakthrough boom. Plot twist. Maybe I was wrong about her, she says. Then why is that not being paid? That's ridiculous. I guess that's the reason why she didn't hire me. Aha, there it is. The mask slips. The whole thing was a setup. She had us in the first half, not gonna lie. Mama fooled you. Yeah, she thought she was talking about something selfless. You sweet summer child. You should have known better. Of course it loops back to her, it always does. This wasn't a concern for residents. This was a job application resentfully stuffed into a public comment. She mad because she didn't get hired. That's it. That's the whole monologue. Everything else was just garnish, and honestly, Tiffany might have actually fumbled by not hiring her. She checks every box on the Henyard hiring checklist. 1. Go long to long energy. Check 2. Accidentally tells on herself every 5 minutes. Check. 3. Zero morale but maximum victimhood. Check. She would have fit right in until, of course, someone else started getting more attention than her. That would have been the end. Because whether it's good press, bad press, or someone slipping on ice in front of the municipal building, if people are watching Tiffany and not her, oh, now we got a problem. But don't worry, she ignore you, just like she claims Tiffany ignores everybody else. And then mid-monologue, she tries to convince us she won't be long. She has an event, y'all. Of course she does. She always does. She knows her time is almost up. The 3-minute timer is ticking and we're all just counting down. To the twist. She says, "Since I can't do much in the township, pause for fake humility. I've partnered with Robbins." Robbins? You mean the same village Keith Price stole $90,000 from? Yes, that Robbins. That bastion of fiscal integrity. So now we've got a joint venture between a Dalton activist and a town famous for its corruption. What could possibly go wrong? Here comes the pitch. A back-to-school event. Taking wig donations. Taking school supplies. "Tiffany, if you have any wigs you'd like to donate," she says, practically licking her lips with the sarcasm. But it doesn't stop there. She wants anything you can give. All donations welcome. survivorvo1@gmail.com. She says like she's hosting a telethon. She puts the email out there. She puts the platform out there, her little thingy for sending money. But then it gets weird. Money's for school supplies and backpacks and wigs, cancer patients and radiation patients and residents. It's for the kids and the moms and the pets. Your cousin, if you had a bad Tuesday, it's everything. It's everyone. It's chaos in GoFundMe form. And there's only one account? One link? One person managing all this? Yeah, okay. That's not a nonprofit. That's a PayPal trap. That's the kind of operation where you're technically donating to help the community, but practically funding her next Amazon haul? "You're going to jail," the voice inside my head whispers. And then it starts chanting, "It can't be. It can't be. You're going to jail." Because when she said the money was going to cancer patients, I had to ask guess who. Had to go through radiation? Yep, her. You guessed it. So in her mind, she's not scamming. She's reimbursing herself. She probably thinks, well, technically that's true. Technically, she's going to jail. It's always the ones who walk into a courtroom acting like they're the prosecutor and the victim. I'm just going to sit back and react. Laugh at you on Mondays for one reason and Tuesdays for another. By Friday, you're a full-blown soap opera. And right when you're about to turn the page, she suddenly remembers a murder happened in Dalton. A whole homicide. A funeral just took place. And she wants to talk about it now, right when her 3 minutes are up. It's real subtle. Andrew Holmes didn't say anything. She complains. Tiffany didn't address it. There's video footage out there. If you have it, please come forward. But she's coughing all over the mic again while she's saying this, like the CDC doesn't exist. People walking up behind her now gotta worry about catching something while trying to talk about a murder. Then the timer buzzes. "Oh, thank you," the moderator says. She ain't finished. "You want me to stop talking about a murder?" She barks. "No, lady. No one wants you to stop talking about a murder. They want you to shut the hell up. Period. End of sentence." Tiffany, from across the room, might as well have said it herself. Shut the entire expletive up. And now new speaker. Enter Vivian. Vivian stands up, straightens her papers, and speaks in that calm, public meeting voice that tells you she practiced in front of a mirror. "Hello, everyone," she begins. She knows Tiffany isn't listening, but she also knows Tiffany will probably watch the video. This ain't just a speech, it's a trap. And Tiffany's gonna walk into it later on YouTube. Vivian recalls, May 31st. She remembers just how much corruption lives in Thornton Township. She went to a meeting that was supposed to be for resources. But surprised none of the 17 municipalities got anything close to fair treatment. Dalton, infiltrated and nearly drained dry by Mayor Supervisor CEO Quinpin, Tiffany Henyard, was asked to leave that public meeting. Her First Amendment rights were violated, all because she had the audacity to ask a budget question. A budget, mind you, that the taxpayers never even approved. She asked for clarity, and instead she got the boot. Because apparently in Dalton, transparency is a luxury and if you ask the wrong question. You're escorted out like you ordered a steak at a vegan restaurant. Vivian looks straight at the mic. That was wrong, Tiffany. Hey, she knows she doesn't care, but she says it anyway. 3 minutes. That's all we get. 3 whole minutes to speak, and not one answer in return. That's not democracy. It's open mic night at the Gaslight Caf. So Vivian says we gotta educate ourselves. But hold up. If you're gonna quote Tiffany, quote her right. She don't. Say, educate yourselves. No. That's not how Queen Tiffany does it. She says, let me educate you, with that patronizing tone and a PowerPoint no one asked for. She wants to do the educating. She don't trust you to do it on your own, you lowly peasant. You don't get to self-educate in Dalton. You wait your turn to be schooled by her, of course. So if you're going to quote Tiffany, do it right. Let me educate you. Because that's the whole game, isn't it? This is not about truth, or benefits, or backpacks, or justice. This is about power, tension, control. A village where HR is run like a dating service. Public comment is a therapy session, and everything somehow ends up being about the person holding the mic. Dalton residents aren't just fighting for transparency anymore. They're fighting to be heard over the noise, and the noise is deafening. It's deafening. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but somehow, this circus act has me out here defending Tiffany Henyard. That's how off the rails things have gotten. And if you've been paying attention, I mean really paying attention, you'll know why we need to start educating ourselves. Because what's happening in these public meetings isn't just dysfunction, it's delusion on display. It's performance art without the talent. Let's begin with Viv. Yes, that Viv, Dalton's reigning empress of revisionist health history. Every time she steps up to the podium, we should issue a trigger warning for logic and truth. You can tell when she's about to spiral into fiction. Her hand starts doing this weird half-flap elbow glued to her side like a broken chicken wing. That's her tell. That's her poker face. The moment you see that elbow stiffen and the wrists start fluttering, just know she's about to start pulling whole fabrications out of places fabrications don't belong. She's up there ranting about Range Rovers, BMWs, and leased vehicles like she's auditing the municipal budget from memory. Ma'am, this isn't TurboTax. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not unveiling corruption, you're performing confusion. And then she does the thing, the wildest thing yet. She says, Tiffany, I just pray your mama had cancer. She didn't stutter. She didn't hedge. She said it with her whole chest. And this, from the same woman who has built an entire side hustle on the myth of her own cancer diagnosis. The same woman who once dared a man to produce evidence of her ever claiming to have cancer, and then got caught on tape saying she had cancer. Diabolical is what happens when the villain has a plan. This is just chaos with lip gloss. Let's not skip past the part where she doubles down. She says Tiffany swindled money from a cancer foundation that was supposed to help the community, myself included.
Ow.
That's right. A woman now claims she's part of the cancer community, a community she joined via Vibe, apparently. Because then comes the quote, "You promised us wigs. You promised us toiletries." Wigs and toiletries. That's her lawsuit. That's her victim impact statement. And I swear to God, she says it like she's reading from a receipt. Where's my wig? Where's my Charmin Ultra? She actually says she's wiping herself with the rim of her toilet. Shh. It's a performance so deranged it makes late night. Infomercials look like policy briefings. And let's talk about that phrase again. I pray your mama had cancer. Not if your mama had cancer, I'm sorry. Not you lied about your mama's condition. No. Viv rolls out the moral. Carpet in hopes that Tiffany's mother genuinely suffered. And again, this is from the same woman who lied about having cancer herself. Raised money off it, got caught, and then played victim like someone accused her of jaywalking. She lied to a community that genuinely wanted to help. Their kindness and now uses that stolen sympathy to punch down at anyone who questions her. But wait, she wasn't done. Suddenly, in between microphone coughs, because yes, she just hacked directly into the mic. Like COVID was a suggestion, she announces she's been diagnosed with, wait for it, asterisk, Villaggio. That's right, Villaggio. She says she spent $100 this week because she has Villaggio. Like it's a new handbag brand. No explanation, no clarity. Just vibes and a made-up illness that sounds like it was named after a gated retirement community in Boca Raton. Now, I'll tell you what. happened, and I feel confident about this because I've been watching this woman gaslight an entire zip code in real time. What I think she meant to say was asterisk alopecia, because her next sentence is about hair not growing. But Viv, being Viv, doesn't actually know the word. Because if a doctor had ever actually told her she had alopecia, she would know how to pronounce it. Instead, she's trying to improvise a diagnosis she read once in a YouTube comment section. She's fusing vitiligo and alopecia like some mad scientist of dishonesty and lands on asterisk fellatio. That's why she can't elaborate. That's why she trails off. Because she's not describing a real condition, she's trying to keep her lie afloat in real time. But the vocabulary won't cooperate. You can hear the gears grinding, she says. I found out I had vitiligo after finishing my radiation treatment. Which would be sad if it were true, but it's not. We know it's not. Because the moment she's asked for proof, she pulls a smoke bomb and disappears into victimhood. This is the same woman who once told an entire meeting with dramatic flair that she needed a wig and some toilet paper, as if she were reciting her will. Who walks into Walgreens with a shopping list that says 1. Wig, 2. Charmin, 3. Misplaced empathy? I'll tell you who. The same person who thinks radiation is just a word you say when you need people to stop asking questions. You know who I feel sorry for? Not Viv. I feel sorry for the people in that room, the genuine residents who show up hoping to get answers about their community. It's about their taxes, about the potholes and police and playgrounds. And instead, they get this performance art monologue about invisible illnesses and swindled wigs. These people didn't come for a sideshow. They came for civic engagement. What they got was Dalton's Got Talent, Compulsive Liar Edition. And the irony? Viv is accusing Tiffany Henyard of grifting while standing knee-deep in her own public grift. That's the part that cooks my brain. That's like a con artist filing fraud charges because someone stole her fake ID. You want to talk about toilet paper? That's how soft your whole credibility is? Oh, and before I forget, the mic bit. She coughs directly into the microphone like the pandemic was just a rumor she heard in passing. No shame, no mask, no excuse me. Just a full-throttle lung blast into public equipment and then blames other people for turning the mic off. That's the energy we're dealing with. She's smearing it in like it's a flex. The same woman who cups the mic like a pop star mid-tour is now complaining the mic doesn't work. Sis, it's called self-sabotage. You're the only one holding the microphone and the L, but back to the pathology of it all, because this goes beyond a few lies and some dramatic flair. This is a person whose lies are layered. She's now lying about a lie she told to cover the first lie. This is pathological theater. You ever seen someone lie so convincingly they almost believe it themselves? That's Viv. Except she doesn't believe it. She just knows you asterisk might. And for the record, if I had to pick between her and Tiffany going to jail, I'm choosing Viv every time. No hesitation, no second thoughts. Might be corrupt, she might be incompetent, but Viv. Viv is malevolent. There's a difference between greedy and evil. Greedy wants your money. Evil wants your dignity. And Viv tried to strip an entire town of theirs while hiding behind a diagnosis she made up mid-sentence. I'm serious. Put them both in orange jumpsuits if you want. But if there's only room for one, slide Viv's name to the top of that list. Because you can't trust someone who invents illnesses, prays that other people's family members suffer just to win an argument, and uses public meetings as their own personal soap opera. This isn't about civic duty for her. This is about attention. It's about narrative control. It's about being the center of a town hall that was never supposed to be about her in the first place. So to sum it all up, no, Tiffany isn't a saint. Yes. There are questions about spending, transparency, ethics. Absolutely. But what Viv is doing isn't accountability. It's opportunism wrapped in tragedy cosplay. She's standing on the graves of real cancer patients to build her platform. She is, without exaggeration, the worst kind of liar. The kind who weaponizes suffering and expects applause for it. We're not clapping, Viv. We're documenting. And eventually someone's going to roll the tape back and ask, how did we let this go on for so long? That's a question worth answering.